Thanks, Ella, and welcome back to our Sunday gathering. As usual, before we start, please reach out to your tens and invite everyone, and be sure to turn your cameras on so that we may see your smiling faces. Now, with our opening intention, John.
Thank you, Richard. Taken from Rabash letter number 40, it says here, only through prayer will the Creator assist by forcing one to feel the love of friends and form closest of heart. Nine friends.
Thanks, John. Our special guests today are from their own continent and work the hardest to connect with the rest of the world. So let's give them a warm welcome for the Africa 10. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, friends, for having us. We are really inspired here to be able to be with you in this meeting. And we want to inform you about how we work and as a group and how we hold ourselves in the lessons and whatnot. And the African 10 is an old 10. We've been around for 15, 20 years. And we established a group 10 years ago where we agreed on a covenant, and there are 12 of us from Zambia, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, Ivory Coast, South Africa, and more. And the question regarding our, let me see here, friends. There's some problem here with my with my chat here. So regarding the participants, we are 11 and we cover the whole continent. And I guess that's our uniqueness. What makes our 10 unique is the fact that we are not only Africans, but we are global. We are all over the place. And some of us live in Africa, are not born in Africa. Some of us are born in Africa, don't live in Africa, and so on. So we are a global group, and it's a diverse group. So you will see us in the morning lesson, sometimes very few, but we're always 6 or 7 friends in the morning lesson. But there's not always the ability to be with the camera on and so on, due to work and times of day and so on. But we truly are a united group. We have Francophone, French-speaking friends. We have Portuguese-speaking friends. So it's a big clique. And with that said, I want to give the word to my friend Manoj, and he will talk about the morning lesson with Rav and how we conduct ourselves. Manoj, please.
Yeah, thanks, Saeed. Yeah, definitely. You know, the morning lesson, obviously, Rav has given us so many guidelines and so much information how to start our day. So actually, our day starts, with the evening call, which is the day before, and that's where we actually read an article or an excerpt from the article. If the article is too long, then we just read part of that article together, and this is what brings us, to a little bit of understanding of what's going to happen the next day. And the great thing is that the friends really they make an effort to read that article before going to bed, and this is what really brings us to the connection the next day. As you guys already know, Rav has told us that Rabash, very often he wakes up in the morning and he didn't even know his ABCs. He had to go through that system of reconnecting with the spiritual world. So we actually do the same thing. We have our great friend Zohar who sends us a message before the lesson, and this we use it. We use it to as an intention before we go into the lesson. It's a very short excerpt from either Bala Sulam or from Ravash, but it gives us that chance to come into the spiritual realm again and reconnect. And this is what's really important for us. We're all groggy in the morning. We don't really know where we are. The nuguns of the preparation also help us. They bring us into a collective desire. They really bring us into the lesson. But what's really important is that Rav has given us so much information of how to actually prepare for the morning lesson, is to take into account all the efforts that we make before the lesson. Obviously, this is what really pushes us forward. If we come just to the lesson unprepared, then it's the environment that prepares us. It's not us that prepare the environment. So it's really important to do some work before the morning lesson. And this is actually what King David taught us, is that we prepare the dawn. We awaken the dawn. We don't wait for the dawn to awaken us. And this is how Rav has always given us these little clues and given us the idea of how to prepare the morning lesson. And it's really, it's like going to the gym, for example. Before you start working out, you have to prepare the muscles, do some exercises, do some stretching exercises so that you won't hurt yourself. And this is the same story in the morning lesson. We have to come there, do some little bit of exercises to get our brain and our hearts into the right atmosphere, and then we can partake in the morning lesson in that reforming light, in that surrounding light, perfectly. So it's the same thing here. Those instruments that we want to fine tune before we can all harmonize our instruments and play together. Each one of us is at a different degree. So this is a personal intention as well. It's a personal preparation as well. Each one is not at the same degree, so each preparation is done differently. But when we come together, then all those instruments are perfectly aligned, and we'll be able to make beautiful music together. So this is how we do it. And let me pass it on to Gottfried so he can give you guys a little bit of information of how we do our dissemination and what we are doing to awaken the 1.5 billion, not us, but the creator, awaken the 1.5 billion people that are in Africa. Lahaim, Gottfried.
Lahaim, Manoj, and Lahaim, friends. Yeah, I'm happy to be here again. This is my home. I was born in this environment. I grew up here. Thanks to Zohar for growing us up again and teaching us, trying to become teachers for Africa. And that's our dream. We are so happy to work on that dream. Here, we are happy that we have a very wonderful tent dedicated for this bigger dissemination of this 1.28 billion people, getting the wisdom from them. Again, the experience we have acquired through the ages, through the NA training and through the PT and Asia combination, give us a very warmth for us being in touch with our friends in our locality, in Ghana, and in Africa as a whole. Here, what we do, we try much as possible for our dissemination efforts comprises of an effort to actually help the African friends for them to understand the wisdom by giving them exactly the local connection, making the connection easier, making the experiences we have acquired easier, bringing on board the challenges we have faced, and then they are also going through. We are so happy to have a very wonderful team of Johnny from SA, Delis, Tusho, and wonderful, beautiful women from SA, and some of the beautiful friends from NA, helping our academy. Our academy have a very big challenge. The challenge is that, in fact, we go through academy work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and sometimes team work on Thursday. Apart from this, we go through our normal weekly daily activity of being either a Gabai or a Shas, and then doing the Gabai duty. So midday call, you are there, evening call, you are there, and then you have to find time again for your academic work. It is so exciting working here. But the thing is that we are supported with a tent so powerful, dedicated, with a tent whose heart is full of love, with a tent feeling, expressing the spirit of Africa, that this spirit of Africa will be empowered for all of us to empower Africa and have this wisdom throughout Africa. I want my brother Tuso, who is also working with me in this examination project, to add up few words, add up more words as he can express it. Lahaim to my teachers and my friends who has been in this MA. Lahaim. Tuso.
Thanks, Godfred. Great to see everyone. Indeed, as Godfred has explained, we have been trying all efforts to awaken people with the points in their hearts. And one other thing, we've been connecting with the whole of Africa. We had a meeting the other day with people from all over Africa that speaks different languages, and except only with the trouble that we have with the internet and everything, all the people that are studying with us, all the friends, we would be seeing them on screens in different groups, different countries. But the challenge that we have currently with the internet, it's only holding us back. But we are trying by all means, and hope that soon we'll be having groups all over Africa, in different countries of Africa. Hi.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I think we're almost out of time, but our friend Bright Mwape, who was supposed to be here to read us the closing intention, seems to be that he's not here. But just in closing and conclusion, I'd like to say really thanks to you guys for giving us this opportunity to be able to bestow to this beautiful great Kli. It's like a father coming down to pick up his son, and this is Gelgata Inaim coming down to pick up Ahab and bringing us to your level and giving us the view of this great environment from your perspective. So we really appreciate you guys for giving us this opportunity to come here and to discuss a little bit or put highlights on our 10, and we follow you, believe me or not. We're always inspired by your Kli, and you give us so much forces that we want to be like you, and this is I think the most important thing that our 10 can take away is that you guys are always so inspirational that we want to make sure that we come to your level. So let me just read us out with this little intention that we had today. It's a Rabash article number 24. The main thing we need, and for which we have no fuel for the work, is that we are lacking importance of the goal. That is, we do not know how to appreciate our service so as to know to whom we are bestowing. Also, we are lacking the awareness of the greatness of the Creator, to know how happy we are that we have the privilege of serving the King, since we have nothing with which to be able to understand his greatness. So thanks, guys, for this great opportunity. We love you all. And from the African 10, Lahaim.
L'chaim. Wow, what a wonderful
L'chaim.
10. Thanks so much for
L'chaim.
sharing. And now, with our practical work in the 10s, Chaim?
Yes, thank you so much, Africa. It's always great to see you guys. Really, you guys are an inspiration to all of us. Just before we get into the practical work in the 10, I want to throw in few more words about the grouping project. So I'll take a couple of minutes, use that time to get your friends who are not on the Zoom to get on board and join in, because today's topic is judging friends to the side of merit. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting topic to discuss. I hope you have questions prepared. If not, you still have time to prepare it. And now I want to say a few words about the grouping project, which we already talked about at length last week, and we've been campaigning about it. I'm sure you've all heard about it, and if you haven't, well, this is your time. We're grouping everyone into communities, okay, so that we can all get together physically, not only virtually, regardless of our organic tense, okay, in addition to, not contradictory to, but in addition to give us more strength, okay? So if you haven't registered to the link that was sent, to the form that was sent, please do so now. Mary or Grisha or Irina, if you can post a link, would be great. Please do so. Please make sure everyone in your 10 gets the link and understands the importance of it. It's our chance to start getting together physically. Did you guys see New York yesterday at their breakfast? It was amazing. Did you guys see Toronto 1? There are actually 2. There are Toronto 1 and 3, and John was there too, right? Right.
Yes,
From
we met.
Cabu something.
Yes. Cabu 9, but we met on Thursday with the meal.
Right. So basically it's a community meeting. So these are great events. They inspire, right, John?
I think that's a gift from heaven. We said that, every opportunity we have in a city to meet with another friends physically, that's amazing. We're doing it once a month. And for us, Cabu students, for me, from my perspective, it's a gift from heaven to be able to meet with these veteran friends and with friends physically. So I encourage all its friends to join, because we're open once a month in Toronto.
I have nothing to add to that. Beautiful. Thank you. There were some concerns among friends for sharing their phone numbers, because you need to, in order to group you into groups, we need your phone numbers and your emails and your names, naturally, okay? But some friends feel hesitant about it. Now, I'll say it up front. If you haven't been in a physical group, you haven't tasted it, you don't know what it's like, and you feel hesitant, you feel insecure, maybe even suspicious, don't share. It's too soon for you. Point blank, it's too soon for you to connect that way. But if you've been to a Congress and you've felt what it's like, then you need to do it. And just so you guys know, your phone number is not being shared all over the NA CLE. I wish it were a bigger CLE, but as it is, it's not even shared among all of the North American CLE, but only among the people in your proximity, okay, in your geographical proximity. So it's not that many people. Those of us who've been to college know that every class you take, the first thing you do is you create a WhatsApp group of all the friends, all the people, all the students in the class, so you can exchange summaries, so you can send messages to each other, so you can forward the test questions in advance and things like that. It becomes instrumental. So you end up after college giving your number to hundreds of people. Okay, so it's not that bad. And if you are still hesitant, I will now write my own personal phone number just so you guys feel more comfortable about it. Chaim's personal phone number, and it is plus Sorry, not 2 sevens, just 1 7. There you go. That's my number. So I hope that makes you feel better. Okay. And do we have the link? We have the link. So please register. If you're still, like I said, one guy wrote us, he wrote, this is a deal breaker for me. Like, if I have to do this, forget it. Okay, so don't do it. It's not for you. But if it's not that bad, it would be good for you to join. And now to our very, I think, this crucial topic of the day, which is judging friends to the side of merit. So before we get into it, I want to read an excerpt from Ova Shemesh, who Rabash highly appreciated because he had such beautiful words about love of friends. So here's what he wrote. When every person regards himself as nothing in society, then he regards himself as a heel compared to the society. While they are the head, the body, and the higher organs. When each one thinks of himself in this way, they make the gates of abundance and every lushness in the world open up to them. And it is drawn the most through the person who is more regarded as nothing and as a heel. I'm going to post that in the chat because it's so beautiful. Let's see, who wants to read it? I think I want to hear Clarence. Clarence, can you read it, please? Found it? If not, I'll ask Terry because I haven't heard his voice in years. Okay, let's go for Terry. Terry, are you listening? Yes, you.
Oh, wow, what a surprise. Let's see. Ma'or Bashemesh, Ekev. When every person regards himself as nothing in society, then he regards himself as a heel compared to the society, while they are the head, the body, and the higher organs. When each one thinks of himself in this way, they make the gates of abundance and every lushness in the world open up to them, and it is drawn the most through the person who is more regarded as nothing and as a mere heel.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is beautiful. So, judging friends to the side of merit has a lot to do with feeling like the heel in the 10 and feeling that the rest of the friends are the higher organs. Because if you are the heel, then everyone's higher. And you naturally judge them to the side of merit. But unlike in corporeality and spirituality, that puts you in a position of strength. Because just like in water, just like water flows always to the lowest place, the one who feels the lowest is the one who draws the most abundance. Okay? So he's the most effective in bringing light to the 10, the one who feels like the heel. But how do we do this? When we first come to, to a 10, when we first join a 10, especially if it's a 10 that's already existing, or even if we are just forming a 10. Everyone feels small, you know, I have no experience. I don't know what it's like. I'm here with these giants around me. And it's very easy to feel like the heel. But, you know, over time we draw light, and the light increases our coarseness, and we become thicker and denser and harder to submit ourselves to the 10, and harder to feel like the heel. And that's when the work begins. Because every time we can feel like the heel once more, we have actually risen above our accumulated coarseness of youth. Which word is easier for you guys, of youth or coarseness? John says either one. All right. So if I've overcome it and then I feel like the heel again, then I'm not the same kind of heel I was before when I first came, because now I had to work for it and I had to overcome something in myself. I had to draw light just in order to become a heel again. So now, actually, I feel like the heel, but I'm actually higher than before, and I'm drawing more light to the 10. If you have questions, please switch on the hand thing or whatever, and go ahead and ask freely or write in the chat. So what I wanted to say about this is that we're not the only ones going through this process. All of us are. Not now, please. All of us are. And just like when the coarseness increases in us, when the ego grows, things happen and we say things we regret, and we do things we regret. The same happens to our friends. So as we gain experience, we learn to recognize these moments in ourselves and in our friends, and we become more tolerant. But it's very important to remember that we all go through this stuff. It's our way. There is no because we are all broken, there is no advancement without first seeing the shattering and then attempting to correct it, meaning praying and drawing light and asking to connect, praying to connect, and thereby correcting the shattering. But the first moment when the new coarseness appears, we're not ready for it, ever, because it's always coarseness from a higher level than we are. So it always beats us. We are never prepared, and all the defense mechanisms that we've built were good as long as we were in the previous level of coarseness. But when we fail again, it's not because we are failures or losers or whatever. It's because we've completed the degree and a new one arose. Okay, try to remember that. I know it's not easy from experience, but that's how it works. Try to remember that not only about yourselves, but also when you see it in your friends. Okay, now let's take some questions. Genya.
Hello, everybody. Hi. My question is like this. how to judge your friends to the side of the merit when you see example of older tens, more experienced tens, and let's say you just in the beginning of the journey, and you start feeling like jealous of those more experienced tens, and you don't see it in your 10 yet because you're just in the beginning of the journey, and you start comparing your 10 to those more experienced 10, and you wish, right, you would have that in your 10, so you feel this jealousy. So how you take that feeling and you bring your friends to the side of the merit, like how you do that. Thank you.
Genya, every time you ask a question, it's a new version of the same question, because there's only one thing that bugs you. So first of all, did someone contact you from Mac about that?
No, not yet.
Because we told you they would, right?
Yeah.
But they haven't.
Not yet, no.
Okay. So I'll answer. I'm not sure it's the same answer she would give, but that's what I think about it. Genya is describing a situation where there's a 10, but some people in a 10 are less active, less committed, according to the way she sees it. And she wants a more committed 10, basically. So she's jealous of veteran 10s that seem to her like they're more committed. So first, I got to tell you, those in those veteran 10s are jealous of you just as much as you are jealous of them. You're a new desire, and you have all the fire in you, and you inspire everyone. And let me tell you, beginners are probably the most, I don't know, the greatest force that any society can have. So even the little that your 10 does, assuming it is little, okay, participate, I mean, is way more than, for example, a veteran 10 that is there a lot more often because they're used to it. And your 10 is still working on it. Now, there are two things you can do. First of all, remember being the heel. Being the heel means being the lowest, feeling the lowest, okay? And also, we must never forget that every one of us here, no matter how often he comes to a lesson or participates in a Zoom meeting or a yeshivat chaverim or whatever, every one of us here is cherry-picked by the Creator. Because there are billions out there who know nothing about it. And we do. So every one of us here is chosen. So, and chosen by whom? By the Creator. Okay? So even if I can't justify my friends, I should at least be able to justify the Creator, to assume that He knows what He's doing in choosing these friends and giving them the desire that He gave them. So that's with regard to how I should relate to my friends who I see as less active than I am. That said, if a 10 is not progressing over a long time, then it might be worthwhile to consider moving to a 10 where you have more equivalence of form in terms of frequency, activity, etc. etc. I'll say it straight. I'm in PT6, and I wasn't in PT6 when PT6 first started. I was in a different 10, and that 10 was supposed to be a 10 that's in the lesson 7 days a week. But it turned out to be a 10 where 7 days a week you hope that they will come. And more often than not, you end up being disappointed. So I ended up asking to be transitioned into a different 10. And at that time, Ruya Coca was in my 10, in PT6. And one morning, I just, when no one showed up to the lesson, in order to just be able to do the workshop in the preparation for the morning lesson, I moved to another 10. I pictured my empty table and sent it to Akoka via WhatsApp and wrote, Akoka, I need a new 10. The next day I was in a new 10. I was in PT6 with Boris Belotserkovsky, by the way. We were moved there together. So he too didn't start in PT6. He too moved for various reasons. So these things happen, okay? But it needs to be taken very seriously. Only after you've really tried everything and it didn't work, then it's possible, okay? Even in Rav's 10, PT36, there were changes. People were joined, people left, people were removed from his 10. So things are not solid rock, but moving from one 10 to another is a very serious thing that needs to be done after serious consideration. Okay, I hope that helped. If it still doesn't help, just write to the Arvut team and we won't wait for the representative of MAC to answer you. I have Boris' permission to answer you directly. Okay? Okay. Essien.
Hi, good morning. As far as judging the friend to the side of merit, is it one thing that I wonder if it's okay? I try and find something extremely positive about the friend, like something, maybe a talent, the way he explains an article, or the way he understands an article. And I focus on that and stick to that, even though that's a corporeal thing, right? But I think for me, that happens a lot, and I'm like, wow, I can't do that. So I tend to view them higher than myself because they have that gift. They have that ability to do that, which I don't really have. But then there are other friends where I can't do that. I can't find anything, right? And the only thing left for me to do is to ask the creator to help me. And sometimes I wonder if he's even helping me because I cannot find, it's still not working. It's still not kicking in, for me. So the question is, when you get to that point where there's nothing left but to ask the creator to help you, what are the signs, or does it happen quickly? What I ask is, please help me find something positive or something that I can just that I can focus on this brother that is extremely positive and is
You'll never find it.
To the side of merit. Okay. So
you'll never find it. Okay. Because your ego will never let you see it. Because there is no quality or trait that is bad or good per se. It is how we use it, and that's how, from our perspective, and from the other's perspective, it's how he feels about us. The same quality in one person can be viewed as very positive or very negative by two different people, depending on how they feel about that person. Okay? So if there's a person who you simply cannot find anything positive about him, then it's the Creator telling you, don't bother. That's not the way. Why? Because your ego is hiding anything that can be perceived as positive in him. But what your ego cannot hide is the fact that this friend is in your 10, that this friend was chosen by the Creator, that this friend came and studied and comes to the lessons and listens and draws surrounding light from which you enjoy.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
And that your ego cannot deny.
Got it. Got it.
So work with that. And
Yeah.
once you have a grip on that, you'll see how other things change as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
John.
Yeah, just to follow what you were talking about there, Chaim. Isn't like the misperceptions that we have for the friends that are 10, when we're seeing that to a scale of merit, that's the work for us, because actually isn't it a reflection of what we has to correct inside of us, needs to be corrected inside of us. So the Creator allows that to happen so we can see ourselves, so we can come to that state of where we have to see or come to the correction in us. And to make that clear.
Yeah, that's correct. You know, everyone who finds fault, actually, he's finding his own fault. He sees that fault in the friend, and because he cannot see it in himself, the Creator shows it to him in someone else. You know, we've learned about it. We read it. Rabash writes about it. And when we correct our attitude to the other person, we've actually corrected that within ourselves. Okay, but how do we correct it? That's what Asian was asking.
Yeah.
How do we correct it? When you can't grip on anything, you can't find anything positive in the friend, you know, what do you hang on to? So you hang on to the fact that the Creator chose him. And that's something that you can't argue with. By the way, Asian, when was Cab U12 formed?
Cab U9.
Oh, you guys are from Cab U9?
Yes, Cab U9. Yeah, that was about, I think about 4 or 5 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
2022.
Yeah, I joined when it was already formed. So.
Okay. All right, John. Okay.
So we have a question in the chat.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Mario?
getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Please describe the heel, expand on it, what it's like. Well, you know, it's the heel. Everyone steps on it, tramples on it. Everyone's higher than the heel. Imagine a rug, okay? It's one level higher than a rug, basically, like a doormat. And when you feel like that, that's when you're in a good position. I asked Rav once how he feels about himself, and surprisingly he answered. He said, like, toward other people who are not on the path, very proud, like completely confident. But toward people with respect to people on the path, like the worst person in the world. So something to think about. Yeah, the most lowest in part of the body. Correct. Okay, and feeling it is the key. Okay. Another question from Teddy. It took me over 6 years to start to feel positive envy. So one needs to come to that. Maybe they are one and the same. Not sure what Teddy meant. Teddy, can you speak?
Yeah, when I first started, I didn't have positive envy, and I knew it, and it was talked about a lot. And I was too independent, too prideful, feeling I had to take care of myself and not trusting. So it took me this long, and I wonder if they're pretty closely related, right? If I don't have positive envy, then
What
I
exactly
can't
is
be a heel.
closely related?
Positive envy and being a heel, are they closely related? If I'm not envious of the friends, how can I be a heel?
It's not exactly. Positive envy is envy that galvanizes you, that drives you into action, that makes you want to be like someone. Like when you see someone giving all the time, and you're thinking, how does he bestow so much? Where does he get the energy? Why can't I be like that? That's positive envy. Of course, you feel bad about yourself. This is something that may lead you to the feeling that you're the heel. But being in that state of feeling like the heel is when you're already down, when you are already, when you've acquired so much recognition of evil in yourself that all you have left to do is just pray to be corrected. And that's really good, because then you really are bringing light to the 10. When you realize you're the absolute lowest.
The doormat visual is very good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. More? I want to read something that relates to what Sien was saying. Richard, what? Are we running out of time?
Mario is asking how to be the heel constantly in the 10.
Okay, good question. I'll answer in a minute. Rabash writes, how is it possible to judge another person to the side of merit when his reason, yes, my reason, shows him, or actually he's talking about me, yes, his friend's true face, that he hates him, that this person hates me? What can he tell the body about that? Body meaning the will to receive. So what can I tell myself about that? Why should he submit himself before his friend? The answer is that he wishes to achieve adhesion with the Creator. That's why he should submit himself before that friend. Not because of that friend, but because of the Creator. The Creator, as long as he's the motivation of our work, then we can do things that are truly unnatural. The minute we forget it and try to think of human relations, we enter the realm of equality, fairness, justice, in short, ego, and then forget it. Okay, spirituality out the window, the Creator's out the window. Okay, we always need to think from the perspective of the Creator. I want to achieve adhesion with the Creator. I have to love everyone that the Creator loves. Okay, and if I can't, I should pray for it. I know it's not easy. Okay, from Mario, where was it? Richard, where was it?
It's actually the last. Oh, I'm sorry. The question Mario was asking is how do you stay a heel in your 10?
Constantly.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Impossible. Impossible. Because the minute my coarseness grows, I feel like the top of the head again. Okay? And then I get banged on the head by the Creator, showing me my true nature, and then I drop to being the heel again. That's how it works. Okay? And the bigger the drop, the higher the climb. etc. But that's how we advance. Okay? But just know that when you feel like you're on top of the world, just know that you're at the very, very bottom at that very moment. If you want to start climbing, start feeling like the heel again. Okay, but because we're going through corrections, things always change. Okay, always. Where was it? Tyrants. Is being a heel mainly a feeling or a pattern of behavior towards the 10? No, it's just a feeling. It can be, it doesn't even have to express outwards in any way. It's how you feel about yourself. When you feel like the lowest low life in the world, that's when you feel like the heel. Okay, the lowest part of the body. And in that state, all you have left is to pray, because you've tried everything and you're still worse than everyone else. All right? So then your only option is to pray to the Creator to change you. And that's when you are the most beneficial to the 10. Let's take, okay, one more question, live question, and oh, you guys have so many questions. Okay, 2 more questions. And then that's it for today. Okay, but you can keep sending those questions either to me. You have my number now, so you can WhatsApp me, or via email to the Arvut team, or however. Carl. Mr. Guerin.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Good. So you said, surprisingly, Rav said he feels like the worst among all the friends. And that is very surprisingly based on somebody feeling like they're the worst. In what way?
No. I
Did
meant
he
surprisingly.
say? Did
I was
he
surprised.
answer that? In what way does he?
No. I meant that I was surprised that he answered it in the first place, because it's something you're not supposed to ask. I don't even know why I asked it, how I had the guts to do it. It's audacity.
Well,
actually.
what another question to follow that up? What is the way that you feel the worst? Like why? Like we all think of Rav as the best, you know? So why could somebody really, how can somebody come to that feeling of feeling the worst?
Well, because he has corrected more of himself than we have. So he has discovered more of his nature than we have, and he's discovered deeper layers than we have. So what he sees in himself, I hope to God that we don't see it before we are ready. That's why. Okay, another question from the chat, and then we'll take the rest next week. Where was it? There was another question here in the chat, right? Yeah, is being a heel, that's from Quinta. Is being the heel a state of a descent or an ascent? It feels like a descent for sure. Like I said, you feel like the worst low life. But it's actually an ascent. That's the only way to rise, to truly rise. When you ask the Creator to lift you, you don't lift yourself, because you cannot lift yourself. If you lift yourself, how do you do it? With your own nature, with your own ego, in other words. So it's not really lifting. It's the only thing you're lifting is your own ego. And that's a bubble that will burst. If you feel like the heel, then your bubble has already burst. And now you are ready for real correction, which is when the Creator lifts you. So that's the way to ascend. Yep, we have an interesting path. Okay, guys, so please forward all the questions you still have, either via email or to my phone number or through one of the Arvut team members. However you want, just make sure I get them. And we will continue with these topics next week. I haven't picked one yet, but it'll be interesting because it'll be about our tens, which is our life. Okay, guys?
Thanks, Chaim. And a special thanks to our African Klee friends. They were absolutely amazing. And a special thanks to all of you for your participation. We look forward to seeing you next time. Ella?